Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Catherine. Today I'm going to be talking to you about my experience in Morocco and going to Mass there. So Morocco is a Muslim country and I've been to Mass in, other countries like Peru, all over Europe. I've never been to Mass in Asia. I've been to Thailand and I've been to China. I was not able to find a Catholic Mass while I was there. To be honest, I did not really look for one very much there either, and of course China. While I was in Morocco, I learned a lot about how the Moroccan people are just so kind and so sweet. There are Jewish Moroccans. There's not a lot of them. I learned that there's about 2,000 of them, and they mostly live in Fez. And the guide just said, oh yes, we're very welcoming of all people, everything. So I did a little research, and there's a few Catholic churches in Morocco, not a ton or anything like that, and most of the masses are in French. And I did a little research, like not a lot. I did not do a lot of research, so this might be incorrect information. But based on some of the blogs that I read, Moroccan people do not attend these masses. These masses are attended by French people who are living in Morocco and mostly Nigerians who are living in Morocco. Muslims, don't usually convert to Catholicism in a place like Morocco. That's just not something that normally happens. I wanted to go to Mass while I was in Casablanca. Of course, is this major, huge city. And we went there and we saw the mosque, which is absolutely beautiful. And turns out that is the only mosque in Morocco that is open to non-Muslims. So if you're a Christian, you are able to go into that mosque. However, my driver guide, whatever he was, did not tell us that we were allowed to go. It was a whole thing. So I did not go inside, but the outside looked very beautiful. And I found out that there is a cathedral in Casablanca. So I asked him to take me there. So we go there and turns out it's closed, and it's been closed for several years. It wasn't even a COVID thing. It's been closed for longer than that. I talked about it on my Instagram at Catholic Catherine, and someone actually sent me information on it, basically saying that they closed the cathedral down because when the French essentially left Morocco, there was significantly less Catholics. So the cathedral was given to the Moroccan government, and they have not really done anything with it since. That is just sitting there. It looks really nice from the outside, but you can't go inside. So if you're in Casablanca, you can make a quick drive-by stop there. I don't think you really need to stop there. However, there are other Catholic churches in Casablanca and in the other major cities. So I went to Mass in Marrakesh. I went on the last day of my trip. So I literally woke up and went to the Mass at 10:30. The Masses were at 10:30 and 12:30. The 10:30 one was in French, the 12:30 one was in English. Unfortunately, with my flight, I was not able to go to the English one. So what happened was I went downstairs to the lobby. I will say the hotels in Marrakesh are fantastic. I stayed at 2 different ones, and they are just super beautiful. Like, that was honestly the highlight of Marrakesh, were the hotels. They were so pretty. I highly recommend trying to find a hotel with a pool. I went downstairs and went into the lobby, and I asked the staff there about getting to Mass, like what was my best option based on how far away it was. And unfortunately, the guy in the lobby said, wow, I have worked here and lived here for years. I've never heard about a Catholic church in Marrakesh, which was just kind of funny. He looked it up on Google, saw how far away it was. He said, okay, it's about a 10-minute drive. You're going to have to take a taxi. The taxis are right outside. I don't need to call you one. Just go up to the taxi. There will be someone there that speaks English. Tell him that you want to go to the Catholic church and don't pay more than 50 dirham. In Morocco, it's all a negotiating culture. You're not going to offend the cab driver when he says, okay, it's going to cost 100, and you go, can you do 50? And then he'll say, yes, I'll do 50. So the guy drove me there. I get out, and it's very interesting because there is a mosque across the street, which is kind of cool. And then there is the Catholic church. There were 2 policemen standing in front of the church. That was a little concerning that they felt there needed to be security in front of the Catholic church. But then again, okay, it makes me feel safe that there is security in front of the church, but it's a little concerning to see that. But it was totally fine. It was packed. The church was packed with people. It seemed to be mostly French tourists, maybe French people who live there, and then Nigerians. I did read online that there's just a ton of Nigerians in Morocco, and they all go to the Catholic church. I walked in, they asked me if I wanted French or English for the little music thing. So I obviously asked for English. I walked in, it's a beautiful church, And of course they have candles. Oh, I love having candles so much. I hate how in America, most of the places you just have to click a button and that lights the candle. I know this is for insurance reasons. I really think it's for insurance reasons, but it's not good. I love in Europe and then in other countries that they have the actual candles. I don't know what I'm doing with my hair. It's just not looking good on camera today. So anyway, went into mass and there was a huge choir. Of course I didn't get any videos while mass was going on because that's just inappropriate, but they were beautiful singers. It was all the Nigerians singing in French, absolutely gorgeous. They were all dressed very nicely. And there was the priest and there was at least one Franciscan and there was a couple altar servers. They looked so cute. There randomly was a baptism going on for a little, it looked like he was 3 or 4 years old, going on as well during the mass, which was interesting. I hadn't seen that before, and I wasn't definitely not expecting that. I didn't totally know what was going on because it was in French, but I was able to read the readings on my phone, of course, because it is the Universal Church. So even though it's in a different language, I know what's going on. I just don't understand the homily. That's the only thing that you lose. But I highly recommend if you go to something like that and you don't know the homily, just go look up Father Mike Schmidt's homily for that day, or whatever your home parish priest, if they're still streaming the mass, go look at that. It just was so nice to see so many people in a church. It's a decent sized church and there was a lot of people. And I lit a few candles for all my friends that they got home safe, there were safe travels. And as I was walking out, everyone was in the little courtyard. Everyone was hanging out. There was some kind of bake sale going on, which was really beautiful to see. So there seemed to be a decent amount of community. There was also tons of signs on the walls. They were all in French of different events that are going on during the week. And so it was really nice to see. It looks like there's a really good little Catholic community, which we're just so blessed. I don't know what people do who don't have religion and then they move to a country like this and then where do they go to make friends? I know there definitely are ways to do that, but it's nice that the Catholic Church and the Protestant churches, of course, have these nice little ways to make community. I mean, that's religion in general. That's not just a Christian thing. Key takeaways from this: definitely do some research when you're going to a foreign country, especially a non-Christian one, because there probably is a way for you to get to church. There were other churches in other cities. For me personally, it was all in French. All the information online was in French, so I had to ask one of the girls on my trip to translate it all for me. So after mass, I walked out of the church and 2 taxis pulled up. So they know what time mass ends. Another thing I highly recommend is when you're staying at a hotel, ask that hotel for a business card or some kind of card that says the address of the hotel on it, so you can give that to the taxi driver. I hate giving taxi drivers my phone. It's just kind of awkward and annoying. I'd rather just give them a business card and then they can hold on to it and do whatever, and I don't have to worry about like someone else having my phone. So I highly recommend that as well. Overall, I loved going to mass in Morocco. Really, that was kind of the highlight of the trip for me because I just did not like Morocco. I filmed a vlog while I was there. I haven't edited it yet, but I'm not sure if I'm going to release it because I really did not like Morocco. But you can check out my video on McDonald's in Morocco, which was another highlight of the trip for me right here. Well, if you're looking for a place to go on vacation that's maybe not Europe, not the United States, I love Peru. I would totally go back to Peru, especially if you are watching this from the United States. It's really great because it's just, it could be in the same time zone as you, which is awesome. And it's a beautiful country where every 5 feet you walk, there's a Catholic church, and you can go inside all of them. And there are people who stand outside the churches in Peru, or at least in Cusco where I was staying, and they offer to give you tours. You give them like $10 or whatever. It's something like that. It might be less than that. You give them a few dollars and they'll give you a tour of the church because there's so much artwork in all those churches. It's just so gorgeous. So I would recommend going to Peru before I would recommend going to Morocco, especially if you are a Catholic and you're into that kind of stuff. Also, Peru just spoke to me more. That was just, the food for me was better. The experience was better. I did the Inca Trail. That was on my bucket list. Morocco, I really didn't know what to expect. I loved the camels. That was awesome. That was really cool. Okay, riding the camels through the Sahara Desert was unbelievably amazing. But I didn't like the food in Morocco. I loved the people. The people were so kind and so nice. I got really sick at one point and the Moroccan people took very good care of me. It was great. But honestly, it was not my favorite vacation. But Mass was really cool. That was a highlight for me as a practicing Catholic. And you know what? I might release the vlog. I might not. We'll see what happens. But thank you guys so much for watching. Honestly, when you guys watch all the way to the end of my video, That really helps out the algorithm. If you leave a comment, that helps out the algorithm. If you give this video a thumbs up, that helps out the algorithm. If you subscribe and hit the bell, you'll never miss one of my videos. That's really how you'll see my videos, how you support my channel, how you support what I'm doing. I would love to be monetized this year. I think it can happen. I hit 1,000 subscribers, which I'm just so happy about. I think at the time I'm recording this, I'm at about 1,600, which is so awesome. So I really think I'll be able to get monetized this year, which would just be great. So thank you guys so much for supporting my channel. You're awesome. I will talk to you next time. Bye.